My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila and New Light Streaming Love, as this will be seen on both channels. This is from astrobutterfly.com, and the moment I saw it, I knew. So I haven't read it for myself, and so here we go. Mercury conjunct Mars and North Node. If not me, then who? This Mercury retrograde in Pisces has been a ride, and now we're approaching the climax of the journey as Mercury retrograde is conjunct not only Mars, but the North Node of purpose. The triple Mercury Mars North Node conjunction perfects between March 14th and March 17th. And I record this today on the 15th, so that's kind of interesting. 2026, and takes place at 8 degrees through 10 degrees Pisces. In this messy cobweb of Mercury retrograde, something is starting to emerge. Something we might not be able to articulate very clearly, yet something we can already feel taking shape beneath the surface. Oh my word. I got to visit with a friend yesterday that I hadn't seen in quite some time, and I said that something, this is just so very synchronistic. The bigger picture, Saturn and Neptune have met, shaken hands, and are already in Aries. The world has changed. Irremediably so? Huh. Irremediably. That's what that says. By now, none of us can really argue with the new reality, with completely new rules of the game. But, and there's always a but, like fairy tales have taught us time and time again, even inside a reality we're not fully on board with, or we might simply like to tweak a little, there's always some room for maneuver. Remember when Cinderella wanted to go to the ball, but she had no way to get there? And the fairy godmother turned a pumpkin into a golden carriage? That kind of magic. Fairy tales, dreams, and all things Pisces and Neptune that are liminal space where we can argue with reality. We might not be able to literally turn pumpkins into carriages, but we can still reimagine the possibilities. Well, maybe we can't, but hey, we don't know what we don't know, and maybe we can. Never know. Mercury retrograde in Pisces is the magic, quote, undo button of the zodiac. In the next week or so, we can still go back, change conditions, and look for non-obvious connections that can help us turn the story around. Mercury retrograde is not alone. Mars and the North Node add something else to the mix: momentum. The spark that may have started as a dream now comes with the urge to act on it. What we're feeling is more than just a dream. There is an impatience now. Oh, that's so true. I thought that was just me because of everything that I've been going through with the computer and everything, but I guess not. It must not just be me. There is an impatience now, the desire to actually bring that vision to life, even if the conditions are not fully there yet. Something inside starts asking, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? Mars conjunct the North Node, the hero and the call to adventure. Mars is the ultimate call to adventure, and the North Node, the deeper soul calling to the future that is asking to be lived. Let me read that again. Mars is the ultimate call to adventure, and the North Node, the deeper soul calling to the future that is asking to be lived. According to Joseph Campbell, who articulated the concept of the hero's journey, the call to adventure comes when the old concepts, ideals, and patterns no longer fit the person we've become. The hero's journey starts with the call to adventure. To go on a mission, I like to call it a quest. To go on a mission, to go to the ball. But the hero almost always refuses this initial call because they are afraid of what it might demand of them, or because they believe they don't have the means to succeed. But then something interesting happens. Once the hero commits to the new journey, they almost immediately get help. They meet a mentor, encounter supernatural forces or signs along the way. Gandalf, the fairy godmother, the white rabbit, things seem to magically align so that the hero can move forward. In real life, these show up as serendipities or meaningful coincidences. Personally, I don't believe in coincidence anymore. It's all synchronicity. Just like when we buy a red coat and then we start seeing red coats everywhere, because we are now tuned into that frequency, we are aware of the red coat. When we commit to the journey, we start noticing details that are connected to the journey, details that can help us take the next step. We meet someone who casually mentions something that suddenly clicks. We open a book or an article, and the exact sentence we need seems to jump off the page. Someone casually mentions a place, a course, or a person that ends up becoming important. Or we stumble across a tool or a solution to a problem we've been wrestling with for months. Mercury conjunct Mars conjunct the North Node. With Mercury conjunct Mars, and for those of you that aren't really familiar with astrology, conjunct means together with in the sky, right together, very close, if not exact, right? With Mercury conjunct Mars, we start paying attention, which is Mercury, to those concrete steps, which is Mars, that move us forward and lead to meaningful changes, not just ideas, not just intentions, but actions that can actually make a difference. If I no longer do this, fill in the blank, your energy draining activity, then I have time for this, fill in the blank, something that energizes you. If I actually use my fill in the blanks, neglected talent or resources, then I can actually fill in the blanks result you want to achieve. Even if not all the conditions are in place yet, Mercury is still in retrograde for a few more days. We want to pay attention to what's happening and take action when the moment calls for it. This is one of those times when it's okay to act now and think later, as long as what we act on is aligned with our higher path. When something feels like a clear yes, it's a clear yes. This is also an invitation to venture into the unknown when we don't have all the details yet. Yes, because I keep being told we don't know what we don't know. And that leaves a lot of room for what we don't know. It's a test of trust. Exactly. Do we trust the universe, which really is Pisces energy, enough to believe that there is always something there to guide us? I finally do, actually. Do we trust our own intuition that knows things our cortex might not have fully caught up with yet? I finally do. Do we trust that the spark in our soul is the very guidance that we're on the right path, even if it's still dark or misty ahead? Mercury, Mars, North Node. If not now, then when? When Mercury conjuncts Mars, we're not looking for ideas or inspiration. We actually go for it. And with the North Node activation, we are talking about our soul's purpose, something that moves us forward in a way that feels aligned with who we really are and what we're here for. Every single one of us is unique, a unique genetic combination, a unique natal chart, a unique path. And we are here for something that no one else can do in quite the same way. That is so true. In a world built for standardization and conformity, transits like this are a reminder to return to ourselves, to that spark that makes us us. And when we follow that spark, life has a way of meeting us halfway. I really feel like that's true. I will have a link in the Show More section of this video directly to this article. And I highly recommend that you go there and sign up. It's free to get all of her updates to your email inbox. Every time she does an update, you'll get it free of charge. I highly recommend it because I am not always nudged to record and share her work. And I must say, I'm not an astrologer by any means, but I have learned so much about astrology and myself through it from this website. So I hope that you found this enjoyable and helpful to you. I certainly did. And I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment. Because in truth, we really, truly do not know what we don't know. And it is time to trust ourselves. It's really the only thing left, if you ask me. Until we meet again, my friends, be well. Mwah.